Hello, my name is Veronica and welcome into the Learning Lab. In today's lab, I would like to share with you an epic estate sale crafty haul. And all I can say is wow, wow, and double, triple, quadruple wow. Come on in and let's get started. But first, I'm going to show you a smaller haul that I got a couple of weeks ago, and then I'll share the goodness that you're looking at in these two beds. Now, these first items are from a smaller haul that I did at an estate sale, and the lady did Stampin' Up. I did pick up some adhesives, and she had some dimensional squares just in a little envelope. But then she had the snail adhesive, and the one in the case was $2, and then the refill was $2. Well, they had more that were in the case that were $2, and I should have gotten those because, you know, the case is better than the refill. I can pick up the refills at AC Moore with a coupon. But anyway, got those for $4, and then I got these for $1. She also had the Stampin' scrub pad, and I paid $5 for that. And I also got the Stampin' Mist cleaner for it, and that was only $1. Then there were these great stamps, and I should have gotten more than what I got. But we have Hero, God Bless America, Soldier, and this one is to all the men and women who keep our nation free. We thank you for the service that you do for our country. I love that. I also had a Starburst for 4th of July and another one that I bought with these, and all of these were $1 a piece, so couldn't let those go past. Now, the majority of my money went to these, and this is a set of stamps. This one was $12, and it's the wooden ones that you have to mount, and I have the sayings to mount to them. I just haven't done that yet, and that's why they're still out. But these are cool, and they're double mounted, meaning one will go on one side, one will go on the other side, and I can put on either end the words that are on there. But and it's from the Define Your Life set. Thought that was really cool. I still have to put those together. Then additionally, I got another set of stamps, and that was this one. And these are two-step stamps, and this is the Heartfelt Thanks. These, again, never used. So, yeah, I took advantage. But I think I am going to go ahead and mount these on the wooden blocks that came with it. And I was about to leave out and spied something else. Didn't really need these, but I got them anyway, and they are the Stampin' Pastels for $6. And as you can see, never opened, never used, but the colors are brilliant, which was the main reason that I picked those up. Now, in addition to that, I also got some of the Stampin' Up ink pads. And here's the pink, $2 for each one of those. A blue, a yellow, a black, and 5 others that are already, or 4 others that are already in my stand. A craft white, another black, a beautiful red, a green, and one other color that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I got those. Then just before I was getting ready to leave, I decided to do another sweep through of the place, and I found some of the Stampin' Up sponges, and I got this bag for $1. And then I want to say I had gotten some Whisper White paper, but I think I've already put it away. But these are the Whisper White envelopes in the medium size, and I got each pack of those for $1. And then this pack, I'm not sure where it came from, but it was in with her other ones, so I went ahead and got that. I left out of that estate sale with everything that I purchased, and I think I spent something like $65. But I was really pleased with everything that I had gotten. Thought it was a great deal. Until this past Saturday. Let me get that set up, and I can share with you what I managed to haul home. Now, what I have to share from my Saturday Epic haul are these background stamps. We'll start here, and I'm going to chat while I share these. Hopefully you can read the name, and if I have enough energy, I'll pop them up on the screen below so you can see them. But for this epic sale, I had not planned to go. I had just attended an outdoor concert and a couple of towns over. It doesn't end until 10 o'clock. And by the time I got home, it was after 11. And by the time I got everybody settled and in bed, I fell asleep close to 1 o'clock. Now, normally the dog sleeps in as long as we sleep in. Not so this past Saturday. He was up at about 6:15. I was like, are you serious? So at 6:30, he wanted me to let him out, and I did. So while he was out, I was like, gotta make the coffee. And I turned on the computer to see if there were any Crafty estate sales near me. I meant to do it earlier in the week, and it just slipped my mind. I didn't get it done. So I went in and found, yeah, there's one near where my son's grandmother lives. So I said, well, I better hightail it over there. So I let the dog in, fed him, got myself dressed and ready, went by the ATM, got some money, got some coffee, and headed out there. What intrigued me about going to it was this lady was an artisan, and she was into a little bit of everything. She did stained glass, she did sewing, knitting, crocheting, rubber stamping, beading, jewelry making, ceramics. I think there was even some macrame. She was doing everything. I couldn't believe it. So when I saw this scrapbooking, stamping stuff, I said, I better get out there and see what she has. And lo and behold, beautiful stamps. I really love this one from Simon Says Stamp, and it's their grid background. Really cool. And then another one, which is their tree background. I got all of these background stamps, and I ended up getting the fridge bin, one of them, because there were like 3 or 4 of them stuffed with stamps. So I got that one, and that can hold all of my background stamps. They're all properly labeled, as you can see, and these are ready to go to be popped on my shelf. Now, let me share that other fridge bins bucket. There it is. I was just too giddy when I found these. A lot of them are from Altenew, which is really cool. I have the Superscript 2, and I also have this one, the Halftone Hello, which is the one that gives you that ombre effect, and then you can stamp over it. It's really cool. Now on this one, I don't know what happened, but there are 2 of these in here, and there were just 2 in the packet. Don't know how this crafter wound up with 2, but somehow she did. So I'll probably give one of those away. But I love that these are already labeled, and they are all in their own little Avery L packaging. I mean, just the bags alone was worth what I paid for these. So went to the sale, got there, and it's in a townhouse development, and so parking's at a premium, and there are signs everywhere saying, you know, you can't park at the yellow curb, it's a tow-away zone, don't park there. And I was like, oh man, but there were so many people already parked there. So should I do like them, or should I be legal? I decided to be legal. I saw this one woman leaving, and she was carrying a heavy pot and some other drawing pads and journals. And I asked, you know, where were you parked? Because I wanted to get her space. And she said, oh, I'm down near the tennis courts. I didn't want to take a chance of being towed. I said, you know what? I don't want to take a chance either. So let me interrupt this story to tell you that with the stamps that were there, and I didn't know this at the time, many of them came with their own set of dies. So there was a lot that I left there that had dies in them, I'm sure, because when I picked them up, I noticed they were a little heavy. But did I turn it around and look? Now, there was one lawn fawn one that was there. It was a happy day tag or everyday tag, and it had the die to it, but I really wasn't that crazy about the stamps, so I wasn't going to get it just to get the tag. I have some Spellbinder tags already. These are clearly besotted, and they came with their dies to match. Who knew? So anyway, she's carrying a heavy pot, and she says she's parked down by the tennis courts, which was the entrance to come into the townhouse development. And I asked her if she would like a ride down there, and she said, "Oh, thank you so much. Is it a problem?" I was like, "No problem at all. Hop in." Had to clear off the seat, of course, and I drove her down, and we chatted on the way down. And she was saying that she really liked going to the sale that these people did because their prices were very fair. If nothing else, the prices were really fair. And I was like, okay, looking forward to that. This Allie Edwards, Bring on the Sun, I just loved this, so had to get it. Hope you're not getting a glare. And so I asked her about the scrapbooking items that were there, and she said yes, they have lots. She said when you first walk in, if you will just go to the left, right there they have a ton of stuff. So I already had a game plan once we arrived back at the house in the direction that I was going to go. And when I went in and went right to where she said, there were all of these stamps sitting in the fridge bins over inside a larger container. Well, I just propped myself down and just had arms filled with these. I did not get to the sale when it initially started. It started at 9 o'clock. I think I got there at 9:15. And I do believe there were some crafters there before me looking for Copic markers or Copic pens and embossing powders, because none of those were to be found anywhere. And like some of her other inks, which I know she had, and glitters, they weren't there. But that's okay. I have enough Spectrum Noir markers. I have every color they came out with. And I have all the Derwent pencils, pens, Lone Cornell, you name it. I got it. So I don't need any of that. Here is the Altenews Superscript. And then I showed you the Superscript 2 that I have. So those are really cool. Love this one, the Sketchy Rose. Anyway, so I am digging through just finding loads of things. And there's a container off to the side that has a lot more scrapbooking things in. And I was, kind of eyeballing it. And this one guy said, "Oh, that's, our stuff." And I was like, oh, drats. I thought that was stuff for sale. Anyway, went on through just finding goodies. Left tons of stamps there, mind you. I did not get them all. I just got the ones that really talked to me. And this Vintage Roses, I went online and looked it up, and this puppy sells anywhere from $21 to $25. And the last one is a Dilutions one. It's the Mini Couture collection. And so those were all of the stamps that I decided to pick up. Like I said, I left some for other people's. All the stamps that didn't get sold will be donated to somewhere. So if you're out and about in my area and you're at one of the Salvation Army or any places like that, go check it out, because you'll probably find these on the shelves for sale. So now, moving on to my next set of goodies. Now previously I'd shown you how she had labeled all of her stamps, probably using a label maker. Well, once I had finished rummaging around through all of the stamps, I went downstairs in the basement where I was told there were additional scrapbooking and craft items to see what else I could find. And lo and behold, I think I might have come across the label maker that she used. I couldn't believe the find. This now was originally put out by the Container Store. And when I got home, I went online to check it out. They no longer make it for the Container Store, but it is a Brother P-Touch. It's packaged a little differently now, but it does work. I turned it on. I played around with it a little bit, put in a few letters. It was fine. I have 2 inks, one that print on white and one that prints on black. Plus, there's also one inside, and I think it may have been the one that she used. Anyway, as Uptown Funk would say, girl, get ready to hit your hallelujah. Do you want to know what I paid for this? Okay, first I'll tell you, when I found it online, it retails for $49.99. Get ready for your hallelujah. $5. Woo! Yep, $5. You can't beat it with a stick. And even if you tried, it wouldn't do any good. It just does not get any better than this. Well, that's what I was thinking. But guess what? It did get better. here it comes. As I continued to float around trying to see what's what, I came across these puppies. Twinkling H2Os. She actually had an ingenious system for organizing these. And I guess because most of them come in sets of 6. And I think I have this one. It's the pink passion one, I think. Or I think pink. Yeah, I do. And she glued them to the tops of CDs. Yeah. Isn't that pretty cool? I thought great use of vertical space. They're out. You can see what it is you want to use and take advantage of it. And yeah, well, that flew off because I was thinking if she used E600 to glue these down, I may or may not be able to ever get them off again. So while I was there, I was yanking at them to see if I could get them off. And yes, I was able to, because as cute as this system is, I don't think I'm going to be able to accommodate it in my craft room unless I clean off an entire shelf for it, which I very well could. But she's just taken a piece of wood, and this looks like some of that shelf lining that you can get. And she took her dowels and put them through, and then cut some squares of felt and glue those to the bottom. And that way it won't scratch up your table space. So here I am losing some of them. But I thought, wow, isn't this just darling? This was too cute. If you're out there and you love your twinkling H2Os, this is an option for storing them. Now, let's get ready for your hallelujahs again. So I went into my stash because I was like, I just recently picked up some H2Os somewhere at a good deal. And it was at a Michael's clearance. And as you can see, these retailed for $12.99. And for this pack of 6, and it is the Think Pink, I paid $4.99. Get ready for your hallelujah. I'm telling y'all, you don't believe me. For this stack, and there are 5 of them that are completely full. Well, I'll count this on with another one that's missing one. But these are 10 sets of 6. And how much did I pay for 10 sets of 6? I paid less than what I paid for one set of 6. You better believe it. I paid $4 for this entire set of Twinkling H2Os. Even if I had gotten them at retail at about $13 each, this would have been $130 worth of H2Os. $4. Let me hear you hallelujah. There you go. Let's keep it moving. Lots to show. Okay, there are a lot of containers and things to go through. I did find another Tombow, and this is a removable adhesive, so I'm not too upset with my snail gun. I found another one. Plus, I have a couple of my own. Some great tape from USA Art Quest with Susan Pickery Rothmel, and I know a lot of you have taken classes from her, but this is just a good dry adhesive that I got. Got some of this tape that I love. Almost bought one when I was at the last scrapbooking expo, and this looks like it's about an inch wide. And then I got this one from, it's an Express It brand, and it is probably, oh, it tells me it's like 1/4 of an inch. Then, lo and behold, they had some of the Judikins Diamond Glaze. A water-based dimensional adhesive, never ever opened. Wow. Moving on. Before we move on, this was another adhesive that I found, and it's the foam tabs. And they are the Tombow ones. Okay, now, on to my inks. Y'all know I'm an ink girl. I love my inks. Nothing can replace my inks, my markers, my pencils, my crayons, you name it, I'm all over it. Well, I got some inks, got some StazOns, olive green and timber brown, and a lot of these I do have, and hers have not been used. She opened them up, have not been used. 2 more jet blacks, which I use a lot of, especially with my watercoloring that I do. An opaque StazOn. It's a cotton white. Never used. Some of mine look that way, so I'm not judging. This beautiful azure blue. And this is a dove gray. I have a gray, but it's darker than this. So I'm actually liking this because I can get that watercolor look without looking like an obvious outline is around it. There was some Colorbox chalk inks. I got the Chestnut Roan and the Wisteria. Some Memento Luxe, the Wedding Dress, and of course the Tuxedo Black. And the Nautical Blue, which I thought was pretty cool. Then I got just a regular Colorbox dye ink. And this one is Mudslide. Nice brown. A Ranger Library Green. 2 Versamark watermark pads, still in the plastic, never been opened. Also, this stays on Emerald City, never opened. And a Ranger Archival black ink, never opened. And this is good because I have one that is open, starting to get a little bit dry. So this will be nice for all of those large background stamps. In addition to that, she had some of these applicators. Now, I don't have the round ones that I hear people saying are better. And I see that she had these. I could not find the ones that went with it. She had this and some more of these, and you know, I have tons of those. So I picked those up for applying ink. And then she also had some of these ink sweepers. So I got those. And that's why I think someone was there before me, because I know she had other different colors of inks, because I found a little container that had cards in there that she had made previously in the mixatives in silver and in gold, and then some of the enamel dots, which I love. She had a black one, so I got that. Now, all of these things I'm showing you were in a container. Also in that container was this twine from the Twinery. My son went online for me. He's so awesome, great, and wonderful. And I said, you know, can you find the price on this? And what we found was something like $3.99. It could be wrong. If it was, let me know. But I was like, wow. One was this 3, 6, 8 packs of twine from the Twinery. 15 yards on each one. Beautiful colors. Gotta love it. Okay. Also in there was this terpenoid odorless alcohol blending solution, which leads me to think she had Copics or something similar, because I also had the Copic colorless blender that I picked up. Got a crocodile corner puncher, the 1/2 inch and, well, the corner chomper, the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch. This little circular punch from Recollections. Didn't realize these were in there, you know, when I got it, but they are 20 pocket page protectors. And I just recently seen a video where someone had made swatches. It may have been Jennifer, and they were in something that looked like this. And I do have my Distress inks on a swatch that's about that size. I colored in the whole thing, and they were on a ring, but this would be great to put them in the book, and then I can just flip through and pick out the colors that I want. So with all the inks that I have, I do think I will go through and do that whole ink swatch thing, especially since I have these pockets to put it in. Okay. Now, also in that same container, there was some paper from Studio Calico, and I was like, oh, what kind of paper is that? So once I flipped it over, I saw that it was letterpress paper. I do have some of the We Are Memory Keepers ink and letterpress stuff, but I've been having a hard time finding paper. And right in here is about 10 sheets of letterpress paper. In the very bottom of the container were some papers. And let me just bring the container up here. Some of these papers. And they're lovely scrapbook papers. And it's like when you go out and you're looking for that special one that's going to match something you have, you'll come up on some colors that you'll buy. So they're beautiful, and I will definitely use them. All right, girls and guys, come on, y'all. Get ready to hit your hallelujah. I'm blown away. Because when you're ready, let me know so you can get your shout on. Everything that I just shared with you, from the inks all the way through the twine, through the adhesive, to the corner chompers, to the papers, to, oh, a brayer that I got, I forgot to show that, to the adhesives, all of that. I don't think y'all ready. There's this blues song, and I can't remember the artist right off the top of my head, but he says, y'all ain't ready. Y'all not ready for this. Okay. Somebody out there is saying, I'm ready, V. Go ahead. Please put me out of my misery and tell me what you paid for all of those goodies. I can promise you, somebody out there is ready to scream. $20. Giving folks time to pick their jaws and chins up off the floor. $20 is what I paid for everything in this container. $20. I'm not going to put the liquids back in because I just don't want them leaking over something and causing a mess, but everything was in here. And $20 is what I paid. Whoops, left out some adhesive. And I got the Recollections container to go with it. All right, let's keep this thing moving. We are at my final container. And as you can see, I also got the container too. I'm going to remove it back to the floor and share with you everything in here that I got. Starting with a heated tool from Ranger. You know, the one that's kind of quiet when you're using it. Got two of them. This one is still tied up. I don't think it was ever used. But I think this one may have been. Big deal. And that's why I say somebody came in and bought all the embossing powders and glitters, because why have not only two, but 3 heat tools if you're not going to use them. Yeah, I know. I have them too. Oh, and look at this thing that wraps around the cord. It's not a twist tie. It's some rubbery thing. Man, I'm going to have to research those because I would love to have some for my craft room. This one is Martha Stewart, and these are 2 of the Ranger ones. You're going to get sick of saying it. I should just put a little symbol up to the right-hand side saying, hit your hallelujah, because y'all not ready. You're just not ready for this either. Y'all are not ready to know what I paid for all 3 of these. $6. She said, oh, $2 each. $6! Okay. Whew, moving on. Here we go. I went out into the garage because things were in various and sundry places. Couldn't figure it out. But anyway, got this nice little Fiskars trimmer, which will be great when I'm doing stepper cards, because I can put it in here and cut between here and here. I have other trimmers like this, and that's fine, but this one's portable. I need one that I can leave at school. There was a scoreboard. Went ahead and got that. I have one, yes, but this one I can also leave at school, and I don't have to try to drag mine back and forth. Now, I have the small tonic guillotine trimmer for photos, and I have the big kahuna one for chopping down my 12 by 12 paper. But I didn't have one for really 8.5 by 11, kind of. So when I wanted to put a small piece and cut that, but I do now. There's the sign. Hit your hallelujah. $4. This was actually, I missed it. It's an adhesive laminate, and it was in that container that had the other papers in it. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. This is again what leads me to think she had some embossing powders or was going to get some, or some glitter or something, because she had gotten this container with those little spoons in it. And she even bought the little thing, let's come in some, that you can stick to the top of the lid. And I think Jennifer McGuire had done a video on that, that will house your spoon. So she has some of those in here. So I am all set to go as far as those are concerned. And I have a gajillion spoons in here. This is a beautiful thing. So, love that. Then came across these. Yeah, I know. So I know I shared my great Crafty finds, and I had come up with a tray for my daubers, and I'll link to that if you want to see it. And that is going to work fine for me, but I found this one there, and so I bought it. It has some daubers already in there. One thing I did notice is that 3 of these are really small. So when you compare the size, and I'll come in on that, one is much larger than the other one. So if you want to get ink into a tinier place, this is perfect. Never noticed that before. The ones that I bought in the bucket on sale from Color Box will fill in the rest of these, but I am going to purposefully hunt for the smaller one. And there's something over here. Let me just dump this. And these were, which I've not seen this, but these little ones have caps that will go on them. So I had 3 little ones, and I have 3 little caps that would fit over the top. I don't know if I've ever seen the really tiny ones like that, but that's something to keep an eye out on. So now I have that tray that I didn't want to pay $20 for right here, filled with daubers. And I think at the Scrapbooking Expo they wanted $40 for this. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for it. I think it was something like $1. I know. It's all good. Now this I have already, and I will link to a video where I use some of the crystal 3D lacquer. This one happens to be the pastel set. And when I saw that, I was like, be still my heart, you gotta get that. So I did. And then there was just a pair of Cutter Bee scissors. I have some, but mine I think are titanium non-stick. Saw these, so you know, I had to get those too. Then I came across this jelly plate. Yeah. This one though is the round 8x8 plate. I know when everybody was into the jelly art, I really didn't get into it because I thought, oh, one more thing, really? But anyway, I went ahead and got it. And there was a smaller one, which is a 3x5 printing plate, and it's the rectangular shape. So I went ahead and got that too. And this will give me an opportunity to play around with some jelly stuff. So I'm still digging because Zachary's grandma is just going through those beads like crazy. And I'm trying to keep myself occupied. So I keep making tracks through the house, the garage, the basement, upstairs, downstairs, inside, outside, just looking. And I came across this. And it is Diane Reevely's My Creative Journal Journey. Went online, found this on Amazon. I think it was either $10.99 or $12.99, something like this. And basically, it's her process of how she goes through journaling. Read the reviews on it. Some people didn't like it because they felt like all this was an advertisement for Ranger products and saying, you know, this is what I use, go buy my stuff. But to go with my book, I also found some Dilutions stencils. Woohoo! Yeah. These are 9x12 stencils. And they're actually, let's see, if I lay it down, you could probably get a better view of it. They're actually really cool. Okay, so this one is Leaf Flourish Large. Look at this. Oh, I just love it. I love the offsetness of it. And this one is the Flower Medley Large. Like I said, 9 by 12. And then this last one I just think is really funky, and they are the blocks. Then there were some from Joggles. And what I love about Joggles, that company, and if you've not watched any of her videos, you really should. She's a lot into mixed media and into journaling, and she's extremely creative over there. But Joggles, and they may have gotten this from Tim Holtz, gives you the stencil and the mask. And I like that. So not only do I have a stencil, I can also mask off areas and let that come through, especially if I'm pulling a jelly print. I can really make these go to work for me. So I have this vine one, and then this is the swirly tree. Pretty good, right? Then I found the sticky back canvas from Claudine Helmuth. Went ahead and got that because it was there. So 5 sheets of 5.5 by 11. And then we all know, because I love my inks, I love my cut and dry stamp foam pad. And they had one there, and I got it. This is why I think she had some dies there, but I couldn't find them. Because look, she had obviously punched these out, or she could have taken them at a class and put the glitter on the back, and she glittered these in with the microfine glitter. There's one in the blue and then one in the red, and the rest of these are and they're empty, so I figure I'll finish them out and make some cute Christmas cards out of them. But I promise you, this is gonna be your last hallelujah, so get ready for it. Okay, I thought I was done. I was getting ready to wrap up, and I looked behind me, and lo and behold, there's some paper that I got that I didn't share with you. I went back downstairs, and I just saw this container that had paper in it, and it had some handmade paper on top, which I wasn't interested in, although it was very beautiful. I didn't get it. But it was this Express It blending card. Some Solar White that it came from Ellen Hudson. And actually there were 2 packages of Solar White that came from Ellen Hudson. And another Super Smooth. I said another. A Super Smooth. There's another Super Smooth. This one from Paper Tray Ink, and it's just the 40 sheets of paper, and I guess it normally sells for $6. And I got this crystal clear plastic sheet from Ellen Hudson, and we got all this paper. $10. $10. This one alone was $6, and I think she saw that, and then she was like, oh, okay. She said, how do you feel about 10? I told her I feel fine, I'll take it. And that was during another trip back through the house where I had gotten this and the Twinkling H2Os. So that's what cost me $14, was this paper, and the Twinkling H2Os were $14 of my entire total, because that was a separate purchase that I made. And also I think 4 more of my other stamps were a separate purchase that I made. So let's take out $14 from my total of the paper and the big round thing of Twinkling H2Os. Take that out and take out that price, and here's what was left and what I paid for everything else that I shared with you. Get ready to hit yeah hallelujah. Yeah, hallelujah. $79. Basically, I paid $80 for everything else that I showed you that doesn't include the paper and the Twinkling H2Os, because those were $14 on their own. Everything else together was about $80. because I paid $93 for all of this. When you look at these stamps alone, and somebody out there can do the math on these, when these are $13 and $17 and $21 each, and I have 46 sets of stamps. 46! You do the math. Even if they were $10 each, that's $460 worth of stamps. And we know they were more than $10 each, especially those that came with its own die. We know the Ranger heated tool sells for more than I paid for the paper in the Twinkling H2Os. Go ahead, hit your hallelujah. So basically, for $20 more than what I spent on the Stampin' Up! Stuff, I got all of this stuff at my haul. And this is why I call it an epic to end all estate crafty sale haul. I don't think it gets any better than this. And if it does get better than this, I'm not going to be able to stand it. One thing I have learned is that I need to start using what I own. I don't want to have something happen to me or pass away and somebody's coming along buying my thing saying, hey, half of this stuff didn't even get used. I promised my son I wasn't purchasing anymore, and I'm going to stick to that. I have been doing a lot of crafting. I've created about 45, 52-page spread layouts for my scrapbooks. I have been working diligently on my cards. I've been doing some coloring with my alcohol markers. I've been trying to get my craft room organized so I can craft more efficiently and get a lot more accomplished. But this is it, friends. I'm just thankful. You know, I told my sister, I said, for some reason, and it's not because of anything I've said or done to my knowledge, but for some reason I have found favor with God. He just smiles on me and just blesses me so totally, completely, and unconditionally when it comes to finding crafty goodness. People say, oh, you're so lucky you have the good things, and it could be luck. You can call it that if that makes you feel better. For me, I've found favor with God, and He just blesses me to find these, and I just feel blessed to even share this with you, to let you know that you don't have to spend every penny you own. These deals are out there. And when you hear that voice speaking to you, telling you to go a certain place or look in a certain area, follow it, because you're going to be blessed for it. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed, and I just don't know what else to say, except for thank you for joining me in the lab today. Please be sure to check out my blog at inkollusions.blogspot.com. Until then.